Okay, so far so good. So we figured out how to look at things. Now let's figure out how to actually create things. If you want to add or draw something on the chip, how do you do it? You probably want to start by clicking on the OBJ button, which is short for object. That gives you a whopping selection of two different types of objects you can draw. You can draw a box or you can draw a polypath. Wow. Let's draw the box for starters because it's simpler. And once you've selected an object type, you just click on Add to start drawing. So here we go. I'm going to draw a box. What a magnificent box. Look at it. It's blue. It's blue and blue on the thing. You can change the layer that you're operating with if you click on the layer button. So let's say I want to draw something that's on the base layer. Draw a box on the base layer. Whoops, I have to click on Add again. There you go. I make something on the base layer. Click on Layer again to choose a different layer, and I want to, let's say, draw using the isolation layer. Click on Add, draw another box. Beautiful. Very simple, right? Okay, much more complicated than drawing boxes is drawing polypads. Now basically by default this draws a path. So if, let's choose a different layer, let's choose the emittive layer just for fun. And now if I start drawing with this, it makes indeed a path. It makes a track, which is a line that follows the lines that I draw, except it has a certain width. So you can change the width. While you're in the middle of drawing a path like this, you can do several things with it. You can use the CWTH button to change the width of it. So let's say, yeah, it says 0 here, but I think it defaults to 10. I think the one I'm drawing is 10. So if I want to make it, let's say, twice as wide, type in 20, and it'll change it. There we go. It makes it obviously a lot thicker. Come on. There we go. Nice. Big, thick path. Oh. Alright. And you can also change the layer you're on. Let's say I don't want to draw on this layer after all. I want to draw on the met layer. There we go. Now obviously I'm drawing on that layer instead. Or, draw on the sinker layer. And it responds appropriately. So all that's well and good, and when you want to stop drawing, you can actually click on A-put, and it puts it all down. It drops it and leaves it sitting there so that you don't draw any more of it. So that's just if you want to draw a track, just basically a series of straight lines that connect one thing to another. You use the same tool, the same object type to draw a polygon, like this sort of somewhat octagonal. Actually, it is an octagon, it's just not a regular octagon. So yeah, this octagonal thing in the middle, if you want to draw something like that, use the same tool. But to make a polygon instead of a path, what you do is hit width and change your, oops, I keep trying to use my numeric keypad, but I have numlock off, so it's not working. Duh. So you set your width to 0. And now if you try adding something, it just comes out as a line like that. So let's draw some really crazy polygon that has some goofball shape like this. And when you're done, just close the shape, and it's smart enough to fill it in. But you have to be pretty precise. You have to click like exactly on the, no, I think I did. So an A-put to get rid of it? Yeah, it did. Okay, that's good. Sometimes you have to be awfully precise when you're closing your polygons. If it doesn't recognize that you closed your polygon, then it'll keep trying to add to it, which is really annoying. Actually, rather than using, actually, hold on, let me change my layer to one that's filled in, because that way when you close the polygon, you'll know. You'll know as soon as you close the polygon, because it'll fill it in with color or shading or whatever. So let's say, I draw kind of a, I don't know what that is. It's not. I was going to say trapezoid, but it's not really a trapezoid at all. It's just a weird quadrilateral. There we go. Nice. And it was, I got lucky. It just happened to close the polygon, but sometimes it doesn't want to close the polygon, and then you can zoom in, like you can zoom in really closely and try to get it right on the point where you started drawing your polygon. What you can also do, if you're going to be really precise about it, probably in the real world, since you want to make your structures rather precise, what you'd probably end up doing is use the CMD button. This allows you to type a command. Instead of just drawing stuff on the screen with the mouse, you can type out a command and you can specify the exact parameters. So, I'm sorry, off the top of my head I don't remember the exact commands to use to draw something. I think it's something like add, or yeah, I think it's add. I don't know. It's something like that. You can look it up in the command reference. But anyway, you can specify something like, oh, add polygon with coordinates of this and that and some other awesome number and even more different numbers, which, you get the idea. It's basically, it allows you to type in the exact coordinates of the points for all your polygon, which is very useful if you're trying to actually make something that works. I would expect, I could be wrong, but I would expect that in the real world, when you're drawing something like this transistor that we started with, you'll probably end up doing that more frequently than drawing your structures with the mouse, unless you don't really care too much about precision and can just slap anything anywhere. But when you're designing something as precise as an integrated circuit, most of the time you can't really afford to do that. So I would expect that you'd type in your commands more than actually, when you're drawing stuff, you'd probably type in the commands more than using the mouse. So there you go. That gives you an idea. And in terms, I'm not going to go into the actual typed commands in this tutorial, unfortunately, but you should be able to figure it out just if you check the command reference. Again, use the almighty help button. LASI actually has a pretty good in-program help system. You'll find out the commands that you want to use to draw stuff, and that should set you straight and get you on your way. Alright folks, there we go. I am signing out. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.